Hi, my name is Greg Ryder, and I'm the CEO of 3 companies. I'm on the board of 5 companies, and I'm here to give you my complete endorsement for Dr. David Rubinstein. I've recently completed his complete course, the whole brain-body calibration. I'm not sure if you call it a course, but I've gone through the complete brain-body calibration, not just with myself, but with my wife, my youngest son, my youngest daughter, and we have had incredible results. So let me start off by, first of all, by saying, for me, high energy, going all the time, working like a maniac, loving life. I have to be focused. I have to be on point. And I've completely noticed that since going through the calibration, my ability to focus and really stay on track with my multitasking has been at a superior level that I don't remember ever experiencing. And so I'm sitting here thinking, if you're a businessman, you're out there and you want to be perform at your highest level from a focus standpoint, from a business standpoint, and really deal with every day-to-day stuff, you really need to consider this brain-body calibration. For me, fantastic. I love David. He was professional. He was incredible. I loved the way he worked with me. I loved the way he explained to me what was going on, and that was fantastic. But moving on, let me share with you a little bit about my wife. My wife has been an asthmatic for the better part of 20 years. Literally, those little things you suck on, she's been sucking on those inhalers for 20 years. For the first time in 20 years, I think it's now 3 months, she has not had to use her inhaler. This medication and this asthmatic problem she has kept her from doing rafting trips and skiing trips and hiking up and down mountains. And the other day we were scoping out a hang gliding site and we had to hike up this big humongous mountain. She hiked up the mountain and I freaked out. I couldn't believe it. And I'm like, wow. And then I asked her, we actually kept going and she said she was going to rest. And when we got back down to the car, I said, did you have to use your inhaler? She didn't have to use her inhaler. So not only was she hiking up a mountain, but there's dust and there's four-wheelers and it was just incredible. So it's absolutely changed her life. And getting her off that medication, she's feeling better, she's more focused, she's on point, but her health is just incredible. Absolutely phenomenal. So that was just another great testimony that I just can't share with you, that and we didn't even expect that. We didn't expect that it was going to do anything for her asthma, but it did. It was awesome. Now let me talk to you about my son. I have a 21-year-old son who's destined to be a PGA Tour player. And I got to tell you, Dr. Rubinstein diagnosed my son with a problem with his jaw within the very first or second session that I don't think literally saved his life, but it's kind of a life-saving diagnosis, because my son's jaw, he used to come to me and say that his jaw would lock in place and he couldn't open his mouth. And we were thinking, well, that's weird. We didn't know what to do about it, and we really didn't do anything about it. And turns out that the jaw is connected to all, the jawbone's connected to, there's whatever that song is, right? I wish I knew it. I'd sing it for you. But that whole jawbone thing is connected to all kinds of things in his body, and the fact that he was tensing up his jaw was affecting his golf swing. So by getting the proper little guard for his teeth and his mouth, we're dealing with that issue. It's going to help him out. It's going to help his golf game. It's going to help him with his sleeping and all kinds of stuff, because it just makes him, that whole jaw thing's just tied to all kinds of problems. And I can really truly look you in the eye and tell you that if it wasn't for Dr. Rubinstein, I don't know that this jaw issue would have been diagnosed ever, if not for maybe years. And so I think that's just a godsend that Dr. Rubinstein was there to help diagnose that issue. Now, last but not least, my youngest daughter, Candace, she is a 17-year-old sophomore in high school. She plays on the basketball team, and we started talking about how Dr. Rubinstein's brain-body calibration helps athletes with their focus, getting in the zone, jumping higher, running faster, and just the whole focusing on that kind of stuff. So I wanted Candace to go through this as well. And when Candace started this process, David said, you're going to have your best basketball game ever. Now, I wasn't there when he did the first calibration on Candace, but I happened to leave work early, and I went to a basketball game. I think this was 3 or 4 days after a calibration. And I came home and I said to Mary, that was Candace's best game ever. She took more shots, she made more baskets, she was more aggressive. I was just like, wow, that's the daughter I've been trying to get her to do that forever and ever and ever. And I didn't really tie it and correlate it to the calibration. Then the next week we were going in for our calibration. I mentioned this to Dr. Rubinstein. He said, I told you she was going to have her best game. And we remember that he told my wife. So I've seen an improvement with my daughter's ability and agility on the basketball court. Her movements, her intensity, her just being in the zone of focus. So it's just incredible. And I also know that Dr. Rubinstein has helped a lot of athletes with their speed, with their running, with their jumping, with all that kind of stuff. So I just want to give it up to Dr. Rubinstein, saying you rock. And I really, really, truly believe that what Dr. Rubinstein has invented literally can change the lives of millions and millions of people.